My name is Clara Mason and I am 28 years old. I live in Riverbend, a small town where everyone knows everyone. My life here was fairly ordinary. I worked at the local library where I cherished the quiet moments surrounded by books. My passion for reading kept me grounded, and my friends often described me as the sweet and caring type, always ready to lend an ear or help. I never liked drama and preferred to keep my head down and focus on my work. But deep down, I longed for adventure, to see my life transformed into something more vibrant and exciting, something with real passion and purpose. That dream began to shatter the day I found out that my ex-boyfriend Matt was dating my best friend Jenna. The news hit me like a ton of bricks. Matt and I had ended our relationship on amicable terms, or so I thought. We had spent years building sweet memories together, only for him to replace me so quickly. And Jenna, she was the one person I thought I could trust. The betrayal cut deeper as they began flaunting their new relationship around town, posting pictures of their happy dates on social media and inviting mutual friends to hang out, while I sat at home alone, feeling abandoned and humiliated. It felt as if I was living in a nightmare as each day passed. I would scroll through my social media and see the photos of them laughing, holding hands, even sharing sweet little captions that once belonged to me. I felt an insatiable need for vindication. I wanted both of them to feel the pain they had caused me, but I did not want to become the bitter person I despised. Instead, I plotted my revenge carefully. The plan formed in my mind like a storm cloud gathering before the rain. I decided to approach the situation slowly, drawing them in. I would act as if everything was fine, putting on the facade of someone unbothered. I even managed to smile when I bumped into them in town. I played along, laughing at their jokes, while inside I was brewing a concoction of resentment. They must think they had beat me, but oh, how wrong they were. I believed I was clever and that I could orchestrate my revenge without them ever suspecting a thing. I started by spreading little rumors within our social circle about Jenna. I hinted that she might not be as loyal as she appeared, subtly seeding doubts in the minds of our friends. The whispers began to ripple, and soon my friends were looking at her differently. However, every time I thought I saw a small victory, Matt remained oblivious to my machinations. In fact, he seemed to grow even closer to Jenna, entwined in their fragile happiness. Despite my efforts, it felt as though they were untouchable. Moreover, as I juggled my plans, I started to question my own integrity. Was I really stooping this low? My mission became a burden I never expected it to be. Instead of finding joy in seeing them squirm, I found myself spiraling deeper into a dark place. I began resenting everything, including the friendships I once valued. My work at the library started slipping too, and I could not concentrate on anything I loved. The pressure was too high and I could see no way out. I felt like a puppet on strings I had created for myself, endlessly tangled and suffocated. In a moment of desperation, I made a bold move. I decided to confront Jenna privately and share my feelings. But instead of finding relief through honesty, my heart wrenched in pain as she accused me of being jealous and spiteful. Her words stung like 1,000 needles, and Matt, who was listening from outside, came in and tried to defend her. The confrontation spiraled, revealing my plans and exposing all my intentions. My heart broke as I realized I had lost them both in different ways than I could have ever imagined. Feeling utterly defeated, I left my own apartment, the weight of my anguish pressing down on me. I walked aimlessly down the streets of Riverbend, hardly noticing where I was going. I was convinced I would have to live with this fractured heart and the haunting knowledge that I had failed. I resolved it was time to bury my dreams of revenge, to find a way to move on. But deep inside, a new glimmer sparked. Perhaps revenge could become a path of redemption instead. If I could channel these feelings in a different way, I could reclaim my life. With renewed vigor, I came up with a plan that was not rooted in vengeance, but rather self-discovery. I took a leap of faith and signed up for a public speaking class. I wanted to learn to express myself better and voice my pain rather than let it fester within me. I started reconnecting with friends outside the narrow circle I had known, immersing myself in new hobbies and attending local events. Slowly but surely, I found that I was beginning to heal. Jenna and Matt, however, were witnessing my transformation. They seemed surprised to see me thrive outside the shambles of our history. I could feel the tension of jealousy creeping back into Jenna whenever I flourished. One evening, as I shared my progress at a gathering, I noticed their whispers trailing me. Once I might have reveled in their discomfort over my success, but now I just felt pity for them. They held tight to their superficial connection, while I was reviving my spirit and embracing authenticity. It was at the annual Riverbend Fair when fate had its final act. As I participated in the local talent show, I took the stage, my heart pounding but filled with hope. When I finished my piece, the audience erupted in applause. Matt and Jenna stood in the back, exchanging worried glances, realizing that while they had clung to each other, I had soared. It was invigorating to feel free from their grasp. After the show, Jenna approached me with an unexpected olive branch. She apologized for her actions, admitting she had not considered my feelings. At that moment, I made a choice. Instead of reveling in retaliation, I chose forgiveness. I thanked her and told her I had long since moved on. I gracefully ended the conversation and walked back toward my friends, leaving Jenna and Matt behind. Now, as I look back on all that has happened, I see it no longer matters who hurt whom. What matters is how I learned that looking within myself led to triumph, not only over them, but over my own obstacles as well. Clara Mason, once trapped in the shadow of heartbreak, emerged into a life of light, proving that sometimes revenge can be sweet, but the joy of self-empowerment is far sweeter still.